Welcome to Troutman First United Methodist Church on this Sunday, May the 12th. Happy Mother's Day. We are glad that you're here to worship with us on this seventh Sunday of Easter. We're glad that you are here as we celebrate our mothers who are both living and those who've gone before us, as well as we also celebrate mothers who may have nurtured us. Maybe they weren't able to have children of their own, but they nurtured us and helped raise us and to teach us the faith. So we're glad that you are here to worship today. Those who are watching online and those who are gathered in person, we are glad to have you. Before we start this morning, if you did not receive as you came in 3 strips of paper or 2 strips of paper, please raise your hand. And I know I didn't get one, Caitlin. And check the choir. Did the choir get one? Okay, the choir has one. So everybody should have 2 strips of paper in your hands. We're going to need that for the worship service today. All right, in our announcements today, I wanted to share with you just a couple of things. First, you may have noticed this morning as you came in, our property looks a little different this morning. The crepe myrtle trees that were growing in the front, the roots were starting to grow into the foundation of our church. And so we needed to remove those. As we got to looking at the shrubbery, we felt like it was time to replace and to plant new shrubs and new flowers. Lowe's is working with us to help us put together a plan with shrubs and flowers. And so we're hoping to have that replaced here in the next few weeks. But I want to thank all those who came out and worked yesterday around the church and those who went over to Miss Eleanor's house, which is directly across from Melvin's. We worked really hard yesterday planting flowers for Miss Eleanor, cleaning around her flower bed. We cleaned around the church. Everything was great. We even found a little snake yesterday. And I tell you, I am not a snake handling preacher because I didn't pick it up. So you don't have to worry. But it was a great day. I want to thank Virgil and all the men who did the heavy lifting with the tractor, pulling the shrubbery out. And so thank you for that. And thank you for our sweet angel that brought lunch for us yesterday. So we had, thank you for the delicious meal and the donuts that we had for breakfast. It was a great day of working together. And you'll be hearing of another date coming up real soon. I'm sure Jason and the men will let us know when we will come back together and we'll work finishing the playground, which we didn't do yesterday, but finishing around the playground and also around the church here, planting flowers and so forth. And so women, you might want to come because you are the expertise on planting. So maybe you want to come show us where the plants should go. So I'm just saying maybe more women would show up, but I appreciate those yesterday who worked really hard. So thank you so much. I have an announcement on Wednesday this week. Sonia needs help putting together sewing kits for the youth summer sewing classes that will be taught at the town of Troutman. She's asking if you could come and help put together these kits to meet here at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on Wednesday. And so I'm sure she would appreciate it. Also, Tuesday evening this week at 7 o'clock at Sophie's Petite Bakery. If you know anyone that's grieving, that's lost a loved one recently, or if you know anyone that experienced chronic pain and ongoing illness, we're meeting there at 7 o'clock. It's a time of supporting one another, praying one another through the journey. If you feel like sharing, you can. If not, you can sit and listen. But it's a time where we're going to encourage one another as we walk through this journey called grief and journey called pain. So if you know anybody in those categories, please invite them to come. But Sophie's Petite Bakery is right over here in the same plaza where Pellegrino's, Kajo's, the pawn shop is. It's across the street from the pawn shop, directly across from the pawn shop. On Wednesday evening, we had our first sushi and scripture, and it was fun. You don't have to eat sushi, and for a matter of fact, I bought like several sushis, and nobody tried it, so the preacher went home with enough sushi for lunch, dinner, and supper. So If you want to come, please do. It's at Wednesday night at 5:30. We took one whole side of the restaurant. We had a great time as we studied together. But we would love to have you. Anybody that's watching online, you're welcome and invited to come. But it was a wonderful night of studying Scripture together. The youth, are you meeting at the park this week? Nope. Truth Coffee. Your youth leader will be in touch with you. And if you are watching online and you're a youth and you would like to attend, if you will call the church, we will get you patched through to our youth leaders so that you can be a part of this. We would love for you to take part. Immediately after service today, we're going to take 5 minutes. I want to share with you a little bit of news, what happened at General Conference. You will be getting a letter. I've been in leadership courses last week, and I didn't get that email sent out to you. But I will be sending an email out to the church letting you know what happened at General Conference, what this means for our church. And we ask that you read this, and if you have questions, that you would please ask your pastor, and so that we can stay informed together. The youth also have today for Mother's Day. I see several of you already with it, carnations for sale. These, the money that they raise will go to their youth fund. It's $3 for a carnation, a good cause. Buy one and give to your mother, to your grandmother, to your loved one, whatever it may be. But buy one and support the youth group today. Are there any other announcements before we begin our time of worship? Again, thank you to the youth group. I don't know if you've noticed, but they have been doing our altar decoration for the month of May. We're in the midst of a sermon series called the Good Neighbor Experiment. And so on the altar, this altar is the town of Troutman. And so imagine this is the town of Troutman. And there's even Matt playing at the piano. And they said, younger Jeff and Donna kneeling at the altar, because we don't have gray hair. Come and take a look at their town of Troutman. And then over here, last week the sermon was about the key ingredients of being a great neighbor. And so again, we're in the 4 weeks of being a good neighbor, and this week is about joy. And so I hope you remember today we were supposed to bring something that brings you great joy. And in a few minutes, we're going to ask you to come to the altar. We're going to spread those around the base of the altar so that you can watch those look at those during our worship service time together. These strips of paper that Julie's talking to you about is for next week's sermon. Next week is about relationships. And so one of those strips of paper, as she mentioned to you, is you're to write on there a relationship of a neighbor or someone that you would like to get to know better. So think about someone that maybe has moved in across from you, or someone that lives on your street that you've not introduced yourself to, that maybe you would like to get to know, someone that you would like to have an acquaintance with or a relationship with. The second strip of paper, you be creative. It could be a business in town that you want to pray for, and then go support that business. Find out more about that business owner. Because we have been in partnership with several businesses here in town that have been coming fruitful. Miss Daisy at Aurora Art and Gardens, she is doing a wonderful job letting our church come in and do a paint class. The town of Troutman been sponsoring classes for us where we've been having students come in and get to know about our church and the wonderful programs that our church has available. We have Sophie's Petite Bakery, which we've just started a relationship with. Kaijo's. There are many different businesses that we've already established a relationship. Patty Pierce has been going and finding out more information from Best Little Pizza here in town. And so there you could put down a business, or you could put a second person that you would like to get to know. And then at the end of the service, the youth group are going to collect those. And then next week, you're going to come and see the effect of what happens when we make these relationships. So we want to encourage you to participate, as Julie said, and write on your strips of paper 2 names. And so Caitlin and Alexandria, when you light the candles today, if you will bring me 2 pieces of paper because I need one. Thank you. All right, so let us prepare our hearts and minds for the light of Jesus Christ as the musicians bring the music or play the music so we can center ourselves, and as our acolytes bring in the light of Christ. Will you please stand? Our call to worship will be on the screen as we are in our second week of our Good Neighbor experience, and this is about joy this morning. So will you please join with me in the sections that are labeled people on the screen as we respond joyfully this morning. Come, let us sing out loud to the Lord. Let us raise a joyful song to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanks. Let us shout songs of joy to him. The Lord is a great God. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let's kneel before the Lord, our Maker. Our opening song this morning is Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. The words will be on your screen as we sing together.